Today is a little bittersweet because we are getting rid of this front bumper, which I actually love. This is made by Relentless Fabrication. Eric put this thing in my hands last year before King of the Hammers, and it has served me fantastic. The Baja design slide in it is super bright. My Cheesy Harbor Freight winch is still hanging tough, but there's just one problem. I want my own bumper. I make everything else. I might as well do a bumper. And that brings me here to this pile of parts. I went ahead and had my buddy Josh design this for me in 3D, which is far above my pay grade for now. We were going to be running a 30-inch KC Flex Era light bar. So today's mission is going to be to tack up this bumper and fit it on, and then we're going to be doing all the tube work on it. So let's go ahead and get the front bumper off. Everything clears. I need to trim this just a little bit. Obviously it's not all the way on. I'm not going to force it on because these are kind of mangled and it's just tacked. But I can obviously tell that it's going to fit and everything's going to be good. So we're going to pull this off. I'm going to fully weld this thing out and then we'll get it back on and address all the tubing and everything that's got to go on the wings of the bumper. So these will get blended. These will get blended, and the goal is to leave everything else because I don't like grinding. So, send it. So I got all these blended. They're not perfect yet, but there's really no point in dialing them in until the thing's about to go to powder. There's like a little wave right there. But for just a rough in, everything looks really good. So now I'm gonna weld these corners out, weld this, weld all this in. I'm gonna TIG weld this just because there's not that much room between the fair lead and the corner here, so I don't feel like doing a big weld and grinding that out. So I'll just run a nice TIG there, it'll stay super clean. bumper's on. I mean, it's gonna come off another 10 times off and on, but that's okay. This thing is on, it's fully welded, it bolted up, everything looks really good on it. Now it's time for us to build the tubes. Usually on these, I'll just take some measurements, sketch some stuff up on some paper, and get to it. On this build, we're kind of cheating as far as I'm concerned, and let me show you why. I have all the dimensions for all the tubes. Well, they're on the ground now, but they're all done. It tells me what to cut it at, what to bend them at. It's just too easy, man. I feel like I'm cheating, but you know what? I'm gonna take it. It's gonna make everything go faster and be 10 times easier. It's looking good. So we got the main hoop on, started putting the outer wing on. I think tomorrow when I come in, I will do the other wing, do the upright tubes, and then do the corner tubes that come off of the stinger down. And then from there, I just gotta pull it off, cap the ends of the tubes, finish weld it, and do the worst part of the whole thing, which is get it ready for powder coat. So chip all the slag off of it, wire wheel it, make sure there's no scratches, no scuffs, go over everything I blended, make sure there's no damage that will show through powder. The stuff that's not fun. But the outcome is worth it. It's gonna be cool. See you tomorrow. One thing I do need to point out is that if you look here compared to here, this side of my truck is kind of collapsing due to the battery being right there. So you can see on this side, there's a nice gap clearance, everything fits really well. Over here, not so much. Once we get out here, it gets a little bit better, but right here where everything's sagging, it's just not that happy. You can see if I pick it up, it'll go back, but we're not going to worry about that too much. This truck is a little bit too far gone to be worried about tiny details like that. But I got a couple more tubes to add in. You can see these tubes here. Go from there down to here. So I'm going to make those real quick, and then we can pull this thing off, cap it, finish weld it, mount the light bar, and do whatever else needs to be done. And just like that, we got a bumper. I went ahead and put some cardboard in front of this thing so I can weld a few tubes before we pull it off. The more that's welded before we take it off, the less chance there is of anything breaking, things like that. So I haven't welded with this welder on tubing before, and I've had it for like 6 months. It shows how much I'm slacking. So I'm after messing around with some settings, ran a couple practice passes. Hopefully everything comes out good. I obviously want it to be as nice as I can make it. So we're gonna weld a little bit of this thing, take it off, do the last couple finishing touches on it, and drop it off to powder. that's it. This thing's ready for powder. Just got done with the very boring job of getting all the slag off this thing, knocking down any scratches, going over it with the DA, making sure that nothing shows through powder. So tomorrow morning, we'll drop this off at powder and plead with them to get it back before the week is over, because we're obviously leaving next Monday for hammers. You want to go home? Is that why you're over here bugging me? Is that what you want? You want to go home? You too? What? You want to go home? What about you? What? Okay. Just relax. The new bumper's done, and it's on, and it fits, and I don't know, pretty stoked. We're gonna let the sun go down a little bit more and get a couple rollers at night. I'm gonna do a couple shots with this bar, a couple shots with the roof lights, and then we'll probably turn everything on and see how bright it is. Far brighter than I'll ever need, which means it's perfect. It's not even dark yet, and this thing's already shining a ton. Drop it, and you got Frank the Rock Eater. You eating rocks? You eating this? That's why a dog's got no teeth. Look at this. Look at his teeth. He ain't got no teeth. They're all dull. Because you're eating rocks. And I encourage it because I'm a bad dog owner. I never thought I'd have such a gorgeous light package that's so bright. I want to thank Austin, my buddy, for helping me in the last video get a lot of this stuff done. He is so neat with his work. Everything comes out so clean, far better than if I did it myself because I am impatient. But I was able to knock out the rest of it. It came out super good. Everything seems to be working. It's pretty happy. I got a couple little clearance issues with the bumper just because we built it a little tighter than we should have. Not a big deal. The fenders where it's rubbing, they're already messed up. We're not too worried about it. We'll obviously revise it. Probably end up with another bumper on this thing soon enough, a V2, right? Try and get it perfect because we're always chasing after that. So that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and if you're at King of the Hammers, come say what's up. Let's drink some beers. Catch you later.